All right, cool. Quick update for you guys tonight. It's already 10 o'clock here. I had a league basketball game tonight. I think it's super important as entrepreneurs. I know right now I'm kind of in a weird season where I'm working full time. I'm doing this business as a side hustle. I'll talk to you about a goal update that I have. But I'm trying to get to $1 million net profit is going to be the goal change. I was doing 50K a month, and it kind of seems small. Like I was talking with a couple of friends of mine, and yeah, I know I'm doing it as a side hustle, but 50K a month, realistically, with the deals that we have in the pipeline right now, is 2 to 3 deals a month, which I think is super doable. It's sustainable. But again, what I'm trying to do is like, how can I leapfrog? What's my 10x jump? And like 10x, I've done 100K a month, or I've done 100K a year. Like, what would 10x be? Like, I want to go a lot larger because it's going to cause me to think in different ways. Like 50K a month, I can, like, just to give you the rationale, like the way I've been thinking about it is like 50K a month, I'll hire a VA that does initial lead intake, probably a VA to help out with dispo. And then I'll have just a team of people set up for like pictures, lockbox, like SOPs and everything like that for the dispo process and gathering all the details. So that way I'm just really doing the acquisitions, and then I'll probably end up farming that out too. But if I want to go 10x, I need a model that doesn't feel sustainable. Like right now, $1 million in net profit seems like such an audacious goal that I can't really fathom how to get there while working a job full time. And the answers that I'm looking for, they'll come eventually. Like I'm not looking for them right now. Like it's not something that's going to pop up and be like, oh yeah, I got it. This is how I get there. It's going to be likely a combination of taking action every single day. I have this quote up on my wall from I think it's Winston Churchill, not Churchill, Rockefeller. It's either Rockefeller or J.P. Morgan Chase. I think it's J.P. Morgan Chase. And it says, "Go as far as you can see. When you get there, you'll be able to see further." And that's the methodology that I'm trying to take because I'm a chronic thinker. Like I'll just sit and think for hours on solutions for things, and it doesn't really help me. Like just sitting there thinking. What helps me is like, let's take some action. Let's see where we get, and then from there I'll have better clarity on which direction I should go, versus just sitting pondering, hoping that I come up with an answer. And usually I'll come up with an answer, but then I'll go a completely different direction after I start implementing it. So if I just start implementing first, then I'll get there. So with this goal update, like we're gonna go do $1 million net profit because I'm trying to beat Stratton. He's got a little bit of a head start. He's working with Lead Zolo. He's doing 10 to 15 leads a day. I think he's got like 10 or 12 contracts right now. I have, I'm trying to remember the stats here. Let me pull up my KPI tracker. Super important to have a KPI tracker because what's important, so like you can see here, like I know I have, from PPC I have 10 leads. So in the CRM it'll show me this. So 10 leads over the past few days that I've been working. And this has come from PPC. We had 3 just today. I got in contact with 1. The other 2 I haven't gotten in contact with, but they're in the pipeline follow-up. And just as a reminder for everyone, like all I have to do, I can't show that card because it'll show like all their contact info and stuff. But for the first day, 5-day first contact, when this lead comes in, I'm not stressing like if I don't get in touch with them the first day because I know I have 12 months of follow-up. Most people don't have that in place. So like I got to convert this lead, I got to close this lead, I got to get this deal done. And you'll notice like my pacing in my conversations with people is super slow. Meaning like I'm not trying to rush them to a decision because my goal is like, what's the best option for you? Like I'm not in a rush. I know I'm going to end up making money on this some way somehow. What's going to be the best option for you as a seller? And I just come across as an advocate. And one thing you'll see too is like we have these automations like, you know, new lead has been added that trigger. We also have the funding department intake form that I'll show you here in just one second. Let me pause this screen and that way I can pull up my email. And I'll show you that again. If you didn't see it, the breakdown of it yesterday, I'll show it to you again. But just go back and watch yesterday's stream. You'll see where I break down the whole funding department intake form and why it's clutch. It saves a ton of time. Because people will literally just fill out the form directly on the website. and it'll do all the sales for me. Well, I shouldn't say it'll do all. It does the discovery for me. This guy didn't do a really good job on filling out his intake form, so like I still have some questions for him. But he went and filled out the form. This particular property is in Jupiter, Florida, in a pretty high-level expensive area, and he said his win-win price is $400K. HOA is $884. I'm assuming probably monthly. In this place, like looking at this place is probably pretty pricey. 400 as his win-win price is going to be too high based off of what I saw. He has it listed right now for 425, and it hasn't sold in the last 60 days. So I'm thinking the actual price of it's probably like 415. I'm looking at doing either a novation or a sub 2 deal, and then wholesale the sub 2 deal if I can get a good rate. He says he owns it free and clear. Just needs interior paint and floor. Like pictures, it's in good shape. Like it's rentable. It could be an Airbnb pad split. It's 3 beds, 3 baths, brand new property, like in a condo association. So I'm sure the HOA's probably got some regulations. So potentially there's no short-term rentals there. But it being in Jupiter, Florida, I would imagine there's going to be some options for it there. But if not, like if I can get a good rate locked in on it, it'd be a good either like vacation rental, or it could be a good lease option deal for someone if the rates make sense. So I think I came in on this one at like 325 on a novation. But you can see here, like I have everything that I need. I reached out to him and I was like, hey, I just got a couple questions. I got your intake form. I noticed you didn't fill out a couple of these things, but I wanted to get an understanding of like what makes the most sense for you right now. Are you looking for the most amount of money for your property, or are you looking for speed? And he said, I'm looking for the most amount of money. I was like, okay, so my follow-up question from there was, do you want to take your payment, like, I didn't say it in this phrase, but just to simplify it, like, do you want to take your payments over time? So are you okay being the bank? We'll pay you out over time, and we'll do a lump sum payment or a balloon payment in 5 years. Waiting to hear back on that one, but most likely I'm just going to write up a sub 2 offer and write up a novation offer. If he wants the most amount of money for his property, it's going to be sub 2. Novation is going to technically get him more than a cash offer. Like cash offer price for this is probably like, if I looked at it based off of the condition, for me to make any money on it, it's probably going to be somewhere like 385. I think it was the price that I came up with. So I could go that route too if he just wants quick cash. 385 if his win-win was 400. It's not awful. It's worth 415. Doesn't really need any work. It's going to be like a rental or vacation. I don't know what the details of it are, so I just got to go find buyers for it. But again, the funding department intake form makes it super easy for me. I don't have to really do a lot of the discovery. And then once I have a VA for this lead intake piece, their job is going to be to take these details, reach out to the seller, confirm them, and then just present me with all the numbers. I can just underwrite it, come up with the offer, and then call and pitch the offer. So that's the position that I'm moving in. Funding department does some of that. But as you can see here, like I said, 10 leads. I've gotten in touch with 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. So 4 out of 10, so 40% of the new ones. And then I ran all of my old leads, so all these other leads that I have in my system, back through all their automations. Got quite a few people that are like listed, it's sold, it's no longer theirs, but I do have quite a few that have responded that I'm touching base with. So I technically, right now I have 6 offers out. So I need to make more offers. I got about 70K in pipeline value. It needs to be closer to like 250, 300 for me to get a deal done. And I just need to push a little bit harder. So making some progress there. Still need to do top 50 agents to ramp up marketing spend. If I'm going to catch Stratton like 10 leads over the past week or so, basically, it's just not enough volume. I need like 10 a day in order to get there. And then there's 2 things that I need to basically 10x where I'm at. I need to basically double my lead flow. I need to hire a VA to do the initial lead intake. So that's going to be the following up, trying to get the funding department intake questionnaires either filled out on the phone or online. Having someone there is going to improve my contact rate. It's going to improve my order rate and then contract sent rate. Those are KPIs I like to track, is like how many leads did I get? How many did I get in touch with? How many offers did I make? How many offers did I send? and then how many are signed, and then closed, and then dispoed. Those are the main KPIs that you should be tracking. And that's kind of what I'm tracking. I like to track pipeline value too, to see is like, okay, if I were to close the contracts that I have, like how much, what can I expect? So I like to forecast a little bit to see if I'm making enough offers, and then am I making offers right? If my pipeline value is super low, and it's like 15 grand, over a week, it's like, I'm not making money that week. There's no chance. At a 15K like pipeline value, there's no chance. Because it's all a game of percentages. So now I'm just trying to figure out what my percentages are. So 40% contact rate, probably it'll be like 60 to 70% contact rate. Offer rate right now is like 80% of the leads that I'm talking to, I'm making offers on. And then the next thing we'll see is contract sign rate. So hopefully I can get some of these signed this week. That'll be a good move. And then I got some connects for dispo that I'm excited about. So I'll be able to get these turn and burn pretty quick. But yeah, that's my update for now. The last thing I wanted to talk about was, we kind of already covered, but talking about leverage. Leverage, like if you're doing this as a side hustle, is like the number one thing that you have to search for. Books to read on this is Who Not How, Buy Your Time Back. Those are going to be the top two on leverage. And then like start reading 10x is bigger than 2x. Two of those are by Benjamin Hardy, I think. Buy Your Time Back. Yeah, Who Not How is Benjamin Hardy. And then also 10x is bigger than 2x. Those two books will change your perspective on it. That first hire is the hardest one to make. Now that I have employees working at my job, like the number one thing you have to focus on when hiring someone is their initial onboarding. You want to set some core values so you don't have to micromanage them. And then you just need to touch base with them, give them tasks to work on, like that they can be accountable for, that contribute to the whole. Show them how they contribute to the main goal. Create some performance bonuses for them, or like at least some incentives to like push harder, like to search for things, search for issues or areas of opportunity, and then just like constantly touch base with them, morale wise, not like to check in on like how they're doing work wise, but it's like, hey, how's it going? Like you just want to get on a personal level with some of your employees, and not personal like their dog's name, that type of stuff. Like you want to have some banter back and forth. You want to like work with someone that you like, that you enjoy being around, and they enjoy being around with you. Because I think it was either like Layla Hormozy or someone said the number one stat on employee retention was if they had a friend at work. So like they liked who they worked with was the number one factor in retention. So if you have an employee that you don't like, or they don't like you and you don't get along, they're most likely not going to stick. And the most costly thing for a business is employee turnover. Because if you think about it, like these leads that I'm working, 70K in pipeline value, if I bring in a VA that completely botches it, I just lost out on 70K in potential revenue. Plus I had to pay him or her, plus the time, gap that I had to spend. So it's easily, like one hire is easily worth 100 grand in lost value if you do it wrong. So you want to try and get the onboarding right. Give them core values so you don't have to micromanage them. Like some of the core values that I have for my employees is speed. Speed is number one. Basically be like a heat-seeking missile. Like find problems and opportunities and try to go out and fix those. Resourcefulness is key. So like don't come to me for everything. Like there's AI, there's Google. Like Google it. Find the answers, try to figure out the answers, and come up with your own solutions. That's number one. Like you want an employee that's self-managing. Like you don't want to have to try and like tell them all their tasks, or if you're a new business, like give them an SOP to follow. Like you want to give them the core values and what things they need to work on, and let them self-direct from there. They'll be happier. You'll enjoy having them as an employee better, and you don't feel like you need to babysit someone. Now there's certain roles like sales that you need to like be in touch with more, like to build up the morale. There's certain things that happen in sales that you need to discuss. You need to have more communication. But if it's not sales and it's like a routine job, customer service or appointment setting or anything like that, you want to just give them their bumpers and allow them to self-correct. Yeah, they're going to make mistakes. They're not going to do as good as you can in some cases. Sometimes they may even do better. But I'm a big believer in like giving people the tools to succeed And as a leader, my job is to give them all the tools, inspire them, and then get out of their way. Because I hired them for a reason, because they're clearly talented at what they do. And if I didn't think that, I wouldn't have hired them. So I'm not going to come in here and tell them how to do it or micromanage them into the result, because it's no better than me doing it. It's supposed to help me free up my time, bringing them in to take over a task or a role. And I need to let them do that job. And if they're not good at it, then then we replace them with someone else that can. And that's a learning process. Like you get better at picking those employees as you go. Like it's a muscle for sure that you have to learn. So those are the lessons that I have right now. That's where I'm at challenge wise. About 70K in pipeline value, 6 offers out. I'm getting in touch with leads, having conversations. So we're moving things along. Like I said, the next step is going to be hiring someone on the front end to do lead intake, most likely after we get our first deal. Once we get it under contract, and then I have a pretty clear idea that we're gonna dispo it, then I'll probably go pre-hire that one, because it's gonna take about a week and a half, 2 weeks to get them in. And their job is just gonna be, anytime a new lead comes in, get the funding department intake form questions filled out, and get them over to me ASAP. So that way I can underwrite, get on the phone, and pitch and close. So excited about that. That's the update for now. Make sure that if you're new here, you're just watching this for the first time, you go down and subscribe. I'm going to start doing some giveaways. I've already shared all the tools and resources that I'm using, but I'll start linking all of that down below. I'm going to start doing some giveaways just for fun things. Like, it's a challenge. We're all on this journey together. So either it's going to be things that help you along, or $20 Amazon gift cards, a connection, like a phone call with someone in my network, just different things that I think will provide value to you. Because at the end of the day, I'm sharing all this because I'm hoping that it inspires people to go along the same journey with me. They can see, my ups and downs, the struggles, what I'm doing, how I'm executing on it, and you follow along and do the same things. And if I can help speed that up for you in any way, by making a connection or giving you $20, buying you dinner, whatever that looks like to help you on your journey, I'm all game for it. I'm a big believer in the go-giver method. If I give more, I'll get more back. And reciprocity is something that it's a skill. It's a muscle. It's not even reciprocity. What's the right word for it? Generosity. Just being generous. I'm trying to make $1 million here, and if I'm so stuck up that I have to keep every single penny of that. It's mine. I want to hoard it. I'm just blocking the blessings that are out there for me. So that's just my belief on it. Gonna go listen to some podcasts and pass out. We won our basketball game tonight, by the way. Play basketball I play 2 or 3 times a week, but I play in a pretty competitive league, and we won kind of a close one tonight. I don't remember how many points I scored, but I'm gonna say it was around 20 something. I know for sure I had 8 layups, 2 free throws, so that's at least 16. That's 18. So close enough for me. Oh, and I hit a 3, so I for sure had 20. Hit a 3, couple layups, a couple free throws. It was a good night. It was one of those hard-fought battles. But that leads me into this last thing before I go. I wanted to share this. Is in business, the most valuable tool is going to be you. Your mind, your skill set, and the way that you improve your mind. Because at the end of the day, what we're doing is all mental work. It's a byproduct of how our brains function. If you're not taking care of your body, which is basically going to lead the way for your mind, then you won't be able to operate at your maximum capacity. It sounds simple, but what you put in your body, the fuel that you use, the difference between going to AM PM versus Chevron, because they have Techron. I don't know if it actually works, but let's just use that as an example. The difference in types of fuel that you use fuels the engine different. So a better example is going to be regular pump gas 89 or race gas, in a sports car. Race gas is probably going to burn better in that vehicle if it's set up for it. Your body is set up to run optimally, and if you're not putting good fuel in it, you're not going to get the best. You're not going to get the best outcomes. You'll get outcomes, but you won't be able to beat competition. If you're not pushing your body, your physical fitness, your health, your cardio, your nutrition, your flexibility, All of those things seem trivial, but they make your mind operate better. So take care of your body, force your body to new limits. Like playing basketball, for me, forces me to a different limit because I have to be more mentally sound on the court, like make smarter decisions as we play more and more competitive leagues. I have to be more athletic. I have to make different moves. I have to play the game differently. And it forces me to level up. And that forcing creates new neural pathways that when I come to work, it doesn't seem like it's that hard. Like it's not as hard for me to create those neural pathways because I've trained my brain into like, okay, I got to learn this particular shot. Like I went left, the guy picked me because I didn't have a drag step into a combo to a spin. Like I didn't have that move in my bag. But now I got to go learn that move. So next time I encounter that situation, I don't get picked or I don't turn over the ball because I'm thinking too much and dribbling and making a mistake. Creating those neural pathways is a habit, and sports allows me to create those neural pathways. So that way when I come to work, learning something new is like, I can look at it, I'll start to take action on it, I take a quick break, go back and take action on it, and I just get better and better and better and better and better until it becomes unconscious. Like I just do it. There's a lot of stuff that I do now, like that I build out, like when I build out AdWords campaigns for clients. It's unconscious. Like I don't think about it. I just know how to do it. I know what I need to set up, and I just go and execute on it. So little things like that that I think are important to share. So that's it for me tonight. I'm going to go get some sleep. Catch you guys tomorrow on the stream. I'm going to do a morning stream because I got some sellers I need to call back. So I'll touch base with you guys in the morning. We'll do some live motivated seller calls. Like I said, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know if you're following along. Leave a like if you're enjoying this content. And make sure you subscribe to the email list. On the email list, that's where I'll be doing the giveaways, some more exclusive content if you prefer reading over listening. A little bit, I'll take the nuggets from these streams and put those in an email. And then on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, I'll be sharing like the little clips from this. So just leveling up the content game, sharing it in a little bit more nuggets, but all the long form stuff is going to be focused here on YouTube first.